Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is Deep Cuts Reactions and my name's Greg, and I'm just going through and playing stuff I feel like playing today, stuff that I want to hear and think I'll enjoy. And I wanted to play some Jackson Browne. I always like Jackson Browne. I won't say everything he's done. There's songs I don't care for as much, but man, through the years he's been really reliable as to putting out good music and great songs. And it was pretty cool during the pandemic because he was at home doing his stuff and did like a little TV show for people, that were stuck at home like he was. And, a lot of musicians did that, and it was really nice. It kind of relieved some of the angst, I guess you would say. I don't know how everybody else dealt with the pandemic, and the lockdown. Uh, I didn't do real well. It really sucked. But what can you say? It was something that the whole world went through, and it is engraved on our minds for the rest of our lives and for the rest of our kids' lives because they suffered through it too, and our grandkids. So, yeah, it was, one of those events that comes along in a century or so. Hopefully it doesn't happen in the next 5 years again, but you never know. So anyway, this is enough of that crap. This is Jackson Browne doing the song Lives in the Balance. And, it's one of those songs that I remember, but then I don't. I mean, I remember, a couple of the chorus lines, and that's about it. So I'd say it's time for me to listen to this again. So Jackson Browne, Lives in the Balance.
I've been waiting for something to happen, for a week or a month or a year, with the blood and the ink of the headlines and the sound of the crowd in my ear. You might ask what it takes to remember when you know that you've seen it before, where a government lies to a people and a country is drifting to war. There's a shadow on the faces of the men who send the guns to the wars that are fought in places where their business interest runs. On the radio, talk shows, and the TV, you hear one thing again and again, how the USA stands for freedom, and we come to the aid of a friend. But who are the ones that we call our friends? These governments killing their own, or the people who finally can't take anymore, and they pick up a gun or a brick or a stone, and there are lives in the balance. There are people under fire. There are children at the cans. And there is blood on the wire. There's a shadow on the faces of the men who fan the flames of the wars that are fought in places where we can't even say the names. They sell us the president the same way they sell us our clothes and our cars. They sell us everything from youth to religion. At the same time they sell us our wars. I wanna know who the men in the shadows are. I wanna hear somebody asking them why. They can be counted on to tell us who our enemies are, but they're never the ones to fight or to die. And there are lives in the balance. There are people under fire. There are children at the cans. And there is blood on the wire.
sorry for that little brief hiccup at the end. I sometimes do that because I'm trying to move my cursor over there to get ready to stop the song, and I guess I shouldn't, apologize too awful much. I mean, most reactors interrupt their songs sometimes three and four times, which I try not to do. And I think one of the reasons that I'm able to do that is, first of all, I'm not very big, and I really don't want to get very big because then I might get restricted, which I don't want. And then the second thing is I always put the link down at the bottom in the comments to go to the original video or song or whatever. And I think that helps a lot in the latitude I'm given in what I want to play. But man, Jackson Browne is so good and reliably political as shit. That was a very, very political song. And even though it was written in, I think, '86, it sure rings true throughout the years. I think he was talking about the stuff that we were doing down in Central America and stuff. We were pretty active down there. And I think that's more of what he was referring to at the time, but all the rest of it is the same. How many wars have we been in? And I don't know. Did any of them really mean anything in the end? I don't know. It's so hard to tell. And I think with a lot of stuff, you're really not going to know until 20 or 30 years afterwards. If that. If that. Hell, we're still debating the Vietnam War. So it's just one of those things. But boy, all those lines about, selling the war, selling our, all the consumer goods that we just gobble up, and I'm sorry, the vacuousness of modern life where material things are all that seem to matter, that's the only way that you can measure your self-value, which is just like so bizarre to me. I don't know. Like I say, I was a hippie, and I'm still am. I worked and got my kids raised and all that sort of stuff. But so, like I watch TV, or I watch the commercials here on YouTube because I've got to watch all the commercials whether I want to or not, so that it doesn't interrupt the songs with playing a commercial. I can feel pretty safe about that. And it's like most of what they're selling, I'm like, I don't give a shit about any of this. I don't want any of this stuff. All your efforts to sell me are totally ridiculous because I don't care about anything that you've got to sell me. Every once in a while, there will be something that I find interesting. Like there was a guy in Oklahoma City here that was selling those pergolas, but he was making them from Oklahoma red cedar, which needs to be cut down anyway because it's it sucks water and it's not exactly native, so it's a good thing. But aside from that, I don't have any interest in any of that shit that they're selling. So I'm just not very consumer conscious and don't need the newest thing. As far as I'm concerned, if it still works, use it. I had a cathode ray TV for the longest time. Everybody else had flat screens and big ones, and it's like, well, our TV still works, so we should use it until it doesn't work anymore, which is what we did. And then our daughter-in-law bought us a little flat screen, which I'll have to admit I really do like, but that's beside the point. We weren't going to go out and buy one until we needed it. I get pissed off when my shirts or my jeans don't last 20 years. They should last. my refrigerator over there is, I don't know, we were trying to figure out how old it was the other day, and I don't know, it's got to be 30 years old. And it's still plugging away. Sometimes it kind of makes grunting noises, but it still works. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll be back and play something else. So hit like, subscribe, and we will see you then. Bye-bye.